And good evening and welcome to Monday Night Live. How are you all doing? Brian, I just saw you were on. I was getting things set up. And hello, Dan Mayer. What's up, everyone? Welcome to Monday Night Live. We're going to work a little bit more on that miniature. I was having such a good time with it. I did some more on it. I thought it'd be fun to kind of keep that going a little bit. And then this week, hopefully this week, if I have time, I'll try to finish it. But we'll do a little bit more on it. I had a cool idea for it. And that's what we're going to do tonight. So I have 3 new paintings for you. I can show you those. We have 33 people on the list tonight to win a painting or have a chance to win a painting. So I love that number. So that's good. And that's about it. I got a little bit of show and tell, some cool stuff that I'm working on. And that's all. So we got it and we're rolling. All right. Hello to everyone. I'm going to switch over to this one and say hi. There we go. Adam's here. What's up, Adam? Patty, good evening. Mr. O'Malley, what's happening? Ian Hart, good evening, Ian. Mike Stevenson, what's up, brother? Look at all you guys. You guys are awesome. Sean, what's happening? Immediately, Sean jumps in with the 543 suggestion. Excellent job. Hello, Rick Lotta. Aunt Paula, what is up? Yay. All right. And does see Gary here too? Yeah, Gary, what's up, man? Grouchy, what's going on? And Todd, hello. Todd is here. That means it's Swamp. What's good? Yay. All right, so I'm going to show you some show and tell while people are kind of getting in here. I posted this painting Friday as like a throwback. I did this in this painting in 2019, right before I moved here to Ohio. And it's on this acrylic. I'll tell you what's up with that in a second, but I'll get you close to this painting so you can see it. I think Adam correctly identified the car on the post from Friday. It is a 1940 Packard 120. And I used to go to this big car show at Gillette Stadium they used to have in the summer. I think it was on Thursdays. And this car was just sitting there, and I grabbed a picture of it and went to town. So that's how that came out. So this painting, I had it all framed up, but the frame came out kind of wonky in a couple ways, and I'll show you what I mean. First, I'll show you what I was going to do with it, or what I had done with it. So that's the painting. It's on aluminum. It's got a gold leaf panel behind it, and it's mounted on this acrylic. And the reason why it's mounted on the acrylic is because underneath that, I have this 1940 Illinois license plate, which is really cool. So the number on that's 1486326. And if you look at the license plate on the car, I used that license plate number on the car too. So the story behind it, or what I wanted it to look like, and I've done this before, is that this license plate would have been on this car. Now, it certainly could have. I mean, there's a chance because it is a 1940 license plate. But the way this works is the acrylic goes here, and then the painting just floats above the license plate. I did it this way once before, and I did it this way this time because I didn't really want to drill a hole in the license plate. I may change my mind on this now. I'll show you the frame that it had in just a second. So I don't know if I can do this. No, I can't. It won't stay. So I'm going to move the painting aside, but show you the frame. So the frame is mahogany. It's beautiful, or was beautiful. Here's the frame for this. You'll also notice it's all banged up and everything. So originally what I did was, this was the first frame I tried on automotive clear on the wood. And it was good, but I really needed to sand it and, re-clear it and go nuts on it. And I never did that. And then it fell. It got damaged along the top edge. So it chipped the clear. And then at that point, I'm like, it needs to be totally redone. But that's kind of how it looks, and then picture the painting floating in between, or right over top of it. So what I did was I started sanding all the clear off. I'm going to refinish this and get this all put back together. But it never really got out there because of the frame, the problems I was having with the frame. So anyway, so that's the story behind that one. If you saw that one on Friday, that's where this is going. So I got a lot of work to do on this one, but I'm excited because it never really got out there. It just kind of, once the frame got damaged, I just took it offline, so to speak. And that was that. That's all for show and tell, right? Yeah, let's look at the new paintings and we'll get rolling. And then we'll get painting on this little guy. Then I'll say hello to everyone else who's coming in here. You guys are amazing. Gosh, I love you guys. I got Grouchy. I got Michael. There's Rhea. I saw Todd. I knew Rhea wasn't far behind. That's awesome. Hello, Rhea. Astral, what's up, buddy? Yay. Brian Moore. I said, yeah, Brian was first in. I said hi to Brian. Who else we got? Mr. Anderson. What's up? Hey, Kyle. What's happening? Oh, I love it. If I've missed anyone, yell at me again. But I think I got everyone who's on. Awesome. Work held you up. That's okay, Rhea. You're the best. Love it. All right. So, yeah. So while I'm saying thank you, I will say thank you to the star givers, or the, not star givers, the super chat givers last week, which was Gary Shees, Ryan, Joe Baggy, and Honey Rivera. Thank you so much for that. You guys are amazing. I love it. That's it. That's all I got for new items. Yeah, that's all I got. Tonight's cheers, I still have some of the Fathead Brewery beers. So this one is Wicked Willie, which is just their India Pale Ale. I might have had Wicked Willie last time. This is one of those multi-packs, so there's all different kinds. I can't honestly remember what I had last week, but cheers to that. Luke Thornton, what's up, Luke? All right. 3 for this week because it's been crazy. It's going to be 3 for a little bit until I can get my feet underneath me. That's been super crazy, and it's going to be super crazy for a little bit. But I'll always do at least 3 for you. But we'll try to get back to 5. All right, first one, Ron. Did I say hi to Ron? Ron's here, maybe? Robert O'Malley. Yeah, I said hi to Robert O'Malley. Ron Basil last week asked for a tiger shark. I did this one. I love painting sharks. Sharks are cool. This is my little tiger shark. I think I've done tiger sharks before. Focus. There we go. So the tiger shark's lineage goes all the way back 56 million years ago, all the way back to the Eocene. The tiger shark is also called the garbage can of the sea because it will eat literally anything. It's not very picky. The tiger shark's stripes, which it's named for, are very pronounced for the young sharks and then fade as the shark ages. So my guy is an older dude or girl. They have exceptional night vision because they have a reflective layer in their eyes, very much like a cat, which makes them extremely effective hunters at night. These incredible animals are listed on the near threatened status due to overfishing. Stupid humans hunt them for their fins, skin, and liver oil. So this little guy is pretty amazing. And there's the cutout I use for him too. It just happens to be sitting on the bench. But there you go. So there's a tiger shark. This one's called Tiger. However, there's another tiger painting. So on the website, if this goes up on the website tonight, it's listed under Tiger 2. But you can't miss it because you can use keywords now on the website. You can type in shark or tiger shark and it'll come up. Oh, Gary, well done. Cougar shark. I'm going to have to do that, but have like makeup and stuff on it. You're going to put 26 on 25 usually takes me. Swamp, I'm doing good with that. Who was it that noticed last week's, one of them, I think it was the masks from the time lapse. It was for the 26 feet, the first 26 feet last week, but I actually painted it in 25. So it has 25 date on it, but I haven't screwed it up yet. Oh, well, I will. Trust me. Okay, next one. This was cool. W. Scott King. Where's W. Scott King? He's usually here. Scott last week asked for the Edmund Fitzgerald. I haven't done this one yet, and I like painting ships. So here is my rendition of the Edmund Fitzgerald. So if you're a Gordon Lightfoot fan, you know the story already. If you're not a Gordon Lightfoot fan, when you live anywhere in the Midwest near the Great Lakes, you know of this ship. The Edmund Fitzgerald was the largest ship on the Great Lakes. It set hull records 6 times. However, on November 9th, 1975, she left from Superior, Wisconsin, with a full load of taconite, which is basically just unprocessed iron ore, and she was heading for Cleveland. So as common on Lake Superior, a crazy severe storm rolled in with like 35-foot waves and 85-mile-an-hour winds. And at 7:10 p.m., about 17 miles from Whitefish Bay, the Edmund Fitzgerald succumbed to the storm and sunk. and it took all 29 crew members with her. So it's one of the most famous shipwrecks on the Great Lakes. The ship is huge, or was huge, and it's quite a story. So of course in 1976, Gordon Lightfoot wrote the song "The Wreck of the Edmund Fitzgerald," which became a huge hit and told the whole story. So it's kind of cool. So this is my Fitzgerald, and she's on her way as the storm is rolling in. And the final words that were spoken by the captain on the radio were, it's actually, I have this wrong. I'm going to change this. It's "We are holding our own," is what he said to his first mate on the radio. So that's a painting, and that's what I got. So that's the Edmund Fitzgerald. You can sing it if you want. Hey, honey, I see all those hi honeys. Who else we got? I say hi to everyone? I hope so. So that's my Edmund Fitzgerald. And that was neat. I got a picture of the Edmund Fitzgerald just kind of sailing, and then I graphed it in the storm and the clouds and everything, and that's what I got. All right. Finally, if you're a member here, you already know this one. And if you're not a member, you'll find this tomorrow. Your friend and mine, Miss Patty, asked last week for a wolf moon, and I had an immediate idea for it. I wanted to do it. So this is the painting I came out with for the wolf moon. And I'll get you a close-up of this one, and that's what it looks like. It looks like it's all silhouette, but he's got all kinds of little details in him. So, and that's my moon in the background. I actually have 3 moon paintings. I was going to pull them all out, but I didn't have time. So there are 3 543s right now with moons in them, which is kind of fun. The wolf moon is traditionally the first full moon of January. It's named wolf moon because wolves are often heard howling in the cold winter nights. The air is really still and clear, so you can usually hear them for miles. The wolf moon is used to symbolize introspection, endurance, and strengthening bonds. Other names of the wolf moon, the first moon of January, is the center moon and also the cold moon. So if you want to see how I did this one, it was fun, and it'll be the time-lapse video tomorrow on Time-Lapse Tuesday. Gary Shees, you're the best. Thank you so much, buddy. I appreciate that. All right. So there you go. Wild Billiam, nice suggestion. So again, if you want to get in on winning one of these, do what Wild Billiam did there and just type 543 and give me a suggestion for one of these black and whites. That's all you got to do. And then next week you're entered to win one. And if you don't win next week, come by next week and give me another suggestion and keep suggesting until you win one. That's how it works. So that's where we're at. We have a bunch of people on the list tonight, so that's fun. And someone will win one. You can choose one of those. You get first shot at the new ones. Brian Moore, thank you so much, buddy. Oh my gosh, thank you. So yeah, if you win tonight, you can grab one of those 3, or you can go on the website and browse. There are probably close to 200 of them on the website, which is fun. And yeah, a little bit of something for everyone there. All right, so I'll put those away and we will get on this thing. So let me show you what I've done. And if you saw the title screen, you could see it, but I'll show you where I'm at with this. So here's our little skeleton rider, and you notice I finished the lava in the middle of it, and I'll get in close for that in a second. And that was pretty much sold. So as soon as I realized that I wanted to do the lava, I was figuring this dude would be like a ghost rider, like a hell rider. Let me show you him close up now. Get some light on him too. So this is how the lava came out on the base. Actually, I'll pull this off so you can see it. Thanks, Bill. So focus. There we go. Yeah. So that's how the lava came out. I'm going to add a little bit more white to that just to really heat it up right in the center. And then eventually I'm going to add like a yellowish glow on the bottom edges of, some of the areas so it looks like it's glowing. But tonight what I thought I'd do is I will do his sword tonight. Because he's got this really nice broadsword. And I haven't quite made all the decisions on what I'm going to do with him yet. I have a feeling he's going to have like a black metallic, all the armor is going to be like black metallic. And then I think I'm going to have the skeleton parts, of the horse and the rider be like a kind of a darker medium gray bone color. And then and that way, I can paint their eyes red, like glowing red, and they'll show up. and also it'll break things up a little bit. And then I was thinking about possibly having the tail, because the tail is very like flame looking, so have his tail and whatever you can see from his mane, which you can't see, but have like whatever else bits kind of be like fire as well. I don't want too much fire on this. I don't want to have like red armor and all that stuff, because I want to kind of let that fire and the lava really stand out. Plus, I also want to have his sword look like it's just been pulled out of a forge. So that's what we're going to do tonight. We're going to paint the sword to look like it's like hot metal, and I think that'll be just right. The most of him will be like dark gray and black chromium like metal, with the eyes and nose of the horse maybe being that flame color, and that's it. So that's the way we're going to go. There's some, cool red bits. I might do some maroon, but I'll figure that out as we go. All right. Look at all your good... Yeah, Death Dealer, doesn't it? Yes, I didn't even look at Death Dealer, but that's probably good. I should go look, see what I can get from, like a good reference. But I'm super excited about the base. I like the way it came out. Oh, honey, thank you so much. You guys are amazing. Yeah, I'm really happy with the way the base came out. I love the little cracks between, they really look like they're heated up. And then that lava bit. The other thing I was thinking about doing was where the hooves hit the lava to kind of make them look like they're kind of molten metal a little bit, and then have the other hooves be kind of like cooled off and red. But again, I don't want to go too crazy with that, because I don't want to, too much is, like I always say, too much is too much. If you have a good idea and you use it too much, it ruins it. So I don't want that. I'd rather have it be, kind of cool. All right, so where to go with this? So I did some reference, I looked up some references, some molten bars, and in this instance, I thought I would do like a little test panel. I'll show you what that looks like. There isn't gonna be too much talky. As soon as I show you this, we're gonna get right into it. And if we finish the sword early, because it's not too much to it, we'll just keep going on it. Wait, what happened with Scott? Congratulations, Scott. So in all my months of absence, I've had 2 new grandbabies and 2 boys. Oh, that's awesome. 2 baby grandbabies, Walter and Colton. Well, happy birthday to Walter and Colton. That's amazing. Congratulations, buddy. I'm excited. Scheduling wise, there may be a break for me the end of the month, the last week of January, because I'm going home to see my kids and my grandbaby and the rest of my family. So I might take that week off. But I'll let you know as we get closer. I'm going to try to front load it so I have stuff to still post, but I may not. I may do the live stream from Keith Hansen's, which is always a good time. All right, so here's a piece of styrene that I have for modeling, and what I did was I did my test run on this to see if I could make it look like hot metal, molten metal, or just out of the forge. So I'm going to show you how I did this. That's kind of a sneak preview to give you an idea. I did both sides, but then I really finished just one side. And the lovely Marjorie had some suggestions to add to this, so I think it's good. But again, it's just a piece of styrene. The other thing I wanted to do was let me drop the exposure on this a little bit so you can see it a little bit less bright. Yeah, there we go. And then I'll focus it. I'll brighten it up a little bit again, but this will give you an idea. The other thing I wanted to do is this has UVLS matte on it. I wanted to see what that clear looked like, and that is really the way to go. There's no sheen on this. So I think I'm going to spray the whole thing with matte clear to keep it safe. But yeah, so that's it. So let's get to it. Let's get to it. Does that look like molten metal? Does it look like it's hot? I hope so, because that's what I'm doing. Thanks, Brian. Yeah, I appreciate it. I'm just having a blast. I'm having fun. So now I know Scott's been doing all the Warhammer stuff and all that. I have no idea about this whole thing, but I know how big it is. But I have no idea like the dynamics in it and all that stuff, like what is going on. A friend of mine paints these things too. And he was painting them for people, so like I don't know if it's it has to be a thing, but I don't really know. Like obviously I'm keeping this one. This was a gift to me from Lachlan, our spreadsheet helper, my amazing Marge's amazing daughter. So I don't, I'm not going to sell this or give it away or anything. But who knows, down the road, it might be something fun to do along the way. So what we're going to do is we're going to try to do this so I can get the. How am I going to do this? I know what I'm going to do. I'm going to put this closer to the board, maybe, and then pull the camera in, maybe. Because you guys got to be right in there on the sword, because I don't, like I said, the other thing is I'm not used to doing live streams with three-dimensional objects either, so this will be fun. Is that too close? That might be too close. Well, at least we know we can get close. Let's go this way. Sorry about the, you know what I'll do? I'm going to do this so you guys don't have to throw up while I'm doing this from the ride, while I figure this out. What could go wrong? Yeah, but I'm really excited about this. I'm having a blast. Because this falls right in line with all the scale modeling stuff that I love to do. So it's the same stuff. I think that's good. That might work. Let's try that. Ron, welcome to What Could Go Wrong. I can go watch the time lapse, Ron. All right, that's good, right? You guys can see that? I know it's too dark. So, all right, I got this. It's fine. Everything's fine. There it is. So we're going to do both sides of the sword. I'm right now, I don't know what I'm going to do with the hilt and the pommel and everything. So we're going to leave it black for now. I may just leave it black and have it look like the blade is. But since I don't know, that's what we're going to do. All right, so the first problem is I don't want to get yellow paint and white paint on everything else, right? So I also don't want to mask it off. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab a piece of paper to do this. Just a scrapola. And I have a couple because I have extra Wolf Moon cutouts. So I'm going to grab one of those. Yay, I love Richard Bernier. What's up? JC. What's happening, JC? Who else did I miss? Hello, if I missed you. All right, so I'm going to have to cut this even smaller, which is fine. And I'm going to have to readjust the camera because I just realized when I put this mask on here to mask the rest of the horse or to keep paint overspray, it's going to make that super bright. All right, so luckily there's a little give to this sword. Yeah, that's going to be perfect. So I can kind of bend it out of the way to get this piece of paper in. But all this piece of paper is going to do is just going to keep overspray from getting on the rest of the horse. There it is. Like that. Ah, that's good. That's good. And then I'll bend this up a little bit so you guys can see. And then I'll adjust the... Let's do this so it's not as bright. There we go. All right. Yay, yay, yay. So, like I said, I'm going to leave the hilt black or blackish. So instead of trying to mask that off, I'm just going to paint and then repaint the hilt after. I think that's the way to go. I'm also going to try to keep an eye on the comments. Get some masking putty, Steve. Yeah, Astro, that's what we were just talking about. Someone just told you to finish Firehouse dinner. And then, oh, that sounds so good, honey. Honey, before you... Oh, she's already gone. Honey, if you're not gone, what's Firehouse dinner tonight? Make me sad that I'm not eating. Richard Bernier, hello from Montreal. Love that city. Well, good night, honey. You can let us know next week, because I'll hound you next week and find out what was for dinner. Can I get this up underneath his arm more? Oh, I can. Oh, that's lovely. So that's really blocking everything. I'm happy with that. Here we go. We're in good shape. All right, so let's go. So first thing to get this to work right, what I have to do is I have to get rid of the black. I have to basically turn this white. It's totally focused. And to do that, I'm going to use the auto board sealer. What I'm going to do tonight, I think, with you guys, well, no, forget it. I was just going to say I'm only going to do one side of it, but we'll see if I can get the other side with you guys too. The other side is tucked in, so it might be harder to see with the camera, but we'll give it a shot. So I'm using Autoborn Sealer White, and this is reduced about 15%, and I'm putting it through a 0.5 millimeter airbrush. You can't see it, but that's the Eclipse CS with a 0.5 millimeter. And I'm just going to start spraying. Again, I'm not really worried about his hand and the hilt and all that. Because it's easier, you'll see at the end, it's easier for me to just repaint it. Nice and light. Keeping the airbrush really close, like I'm only about about a quarter of an inch away. So that way, even though I have this piece of paper here to block stuff, if I back this up like off the screen like an inch, that's about an inch away, I would get overspray on the outside, down here, which would be bad. So I'm keeping it pretty close and just like really going light with it, meaning small, I'm not letting a lot of paint go. Can I get the other side with you guys? That would be, if I can do both sides, that would be just freaking amazing. Freaking amazeballs. Who else we got? Patrick! Patrick, what's Maiden from Liney? What is that? Tell me something. Pulled pork and mac and cheese. Stop, honey. Oh my God, go, 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 go. That sounds amazing. Oh, that sounds so good. Whoa, love pulled pork. All right, let me try getting this the other way. So everything looks good. Everything looks good. That's like the first coat-ish. Let's spin her around and see if I can get the other side with you guys. I'm gonna have to refocus and do all kinds of goofy stuff. But we'll get it. The other thing I found is it's much easier to hold it by hand instead of sometimes it's easier to hold it by hand instead of leave it in the little holder. It's easier to hold it with left hand and move it around, which we might do tonight depending on how things go. Oh, what's that? It's a little booger on the end of the blade there. Is that part of the... Is that dust or is that part of the mold? It's part of the mold. We don't want that on there. So we're going to shave that off. I know what you're thinking. You're thinking, Steve, why do you have your finger there where the blade's going? You're going to cut yourself. And I'm like, what could go wrong? He. What could go wrong? There we go. That's better. Okay. Now, I scraped all the way down to the resin or whatever they use, but that's fine. The Autoborn sealer will cover all that. It doesn't have to be perfect. I'm going to use what's left of it as like marks, the cooling marks. Now, the only thing about spraying Autoborn sealer through an airbrush is it does tend to gum up really fast in the airbrush, so you got to really maintain it. You got to clear the needle quite a bit, because it sticks on there really well. What could go wrong? See, you guys got it. All right, I'm going to pull this out of the stand because it's going to be easier for me to do this, I think. And I just got to keep an eye on the focus, the hocus pocus. Focus. So this way, because I got to move this thing around. I would turn on the autofocus, but it's not gonna have a good time with me. I think I can do this. You need extra hands with this. No, that works. You guys still good? I'm not going to mess with it. I was going to try the autofocus, but I think it's going to freak out on me. All right, coat number 2. I really want this to be white. You know, I really want this to be covered. Incidentally, that little piece of styrene, I did paint that first with Autoborn Sealer Black. It was white, but I really wanted to see, like, for doing test panels, I try to set them up so that they are identical to what I'm actually doing. Like if it was a white piece of styrene and I just painted it with white Autoborn Sealer and did everything, it may be different, you know what I mean? And like to try to cover the black, I might miss something, you know, and then when I go to do the real thing, I don't have the same experience, and then I'm upset and I cry and you know, there's wailing and gnashing of teeth and all that. Where is the focus point for this? Right there. This is fun. It's like jungle gym dynamics. There we go. All right, good. So for this, I'm going to put this back in the holder now because it's easy. I'm going to need 2 hands for this. So I'll put this here, make sure that's focused. Does anyone remember from the 70s, Focus, the band, and Hocus Pocus? You might have seen it because it became the video became I think it went kind of viral. And I remember the song and how weird it was at the time and how weird the dude was. And then when it became, you know, popular again because of how weird it was, I'm like, oh, I remember that. So if you haven't had a chance, just enjoy that one. They were great musicians. It's just the song was mental. It seemed like there was a lot of recreational drugs going on. Oh, yeah, look at that. Now you're close. See, Ian remembers it. You know, Yodel King. Oh, Mike knows it too. Oh, you guys make me happy. Oh, Scott, no thanks. That's all on you. You can do that one. Oh, I love it. Yeah, go watch Hocus Pocus. I think it was on the video that's all over the place was the one that was on I forget what show it was on. Some variety, not variety show, but musical variety show like Soul Train, but I don't think it was Soul Train. All right. All right, next up. Is that enough? Yeah, okay. That's enough. And that's not the right angle. It's the right angle for you guys, but it's not the right angle for me because I really got to be able to get at this. So you guys are going to be at a pretty harsh angle, but you'll see it come together. All right, there we go. All right, next up. So in the little model here, you can kind of see it. I'll put it over here. So that you see the white already in there. I'm going to refocus on the little thing in the back. And then what I did was I used yellow. So yellow adds the extra, you know, that first layer of color. So I'll refocus on the blade. And I just kind of concentrate that on the edges. So I'm using opaque yellow for that. Let's use the micron for that too. I'm using opaque yellow. Which one, you say? Bismuth yellow, the bright, really bright one. Wait, check that. Nope, I use the other one. Hansa yellow. Hansa yellow. That's awesome. Wait, where's Bug? Hello, Bug. Movies on Money for Nothing. And yeah, I love that video. I am happy to say I was alive when that video came out. I do like Dire Straits a lot. All right, so a little bit, you guys are not going to see this, but this is the color, Hansa yellow. And then I'm going to add a little bit of reducer to it because it is pretty thick. And add a little bit of 40-50 to it as well, just to kind of keep it smooth. Smooth, as it were. But that's it. No white, no nothing. Just the yellow. What else we got? Everyone. All right. All right, so there's a yellow in the cup. It's all mixed up. It's wonderfully wonderful. So now the trick is to, I'm going to kind of fade it from the top You know, there's going to be a lot of yellow up here, and then the center of the blade down here is going to be white, like white hot. And then the edges are going to be yellow. So this is the fun part. It's trying to just get the edges done. So I'm going to start at the hilt because that's going to have a lot of yellow. So it's going to give me a chance to get spraying and see how the paint is working before I try to get just the edge up top. All right, now that I've got it spraying right, I can kind of creep down the blade and just hit that edge. Lovely. Now somehow I got to hit the bottom edge too. Don't quite know how that's going to happen, but we'll figure it out. Let's do this. Let's see if I can turn this. If the paper's in the way, I'll just take the hit and spray this and then respray anything that has overspray on it after. I think that might be the way to go because this piece of paper is annoying to you guys. Well, maybe not. I don't know. Also definitely don't want to get any yellow on the base because, well, I can just spray over the figure because he's all black. I definitely don't want to get stuff on the base. So maybe I'll just keep it down here on the base for a second. Turn this again. Yeah, this is the hardest part, is getting it so you guys can see it. You guys aren't going to be able to see this because it's on the other side, but you saw that. So give me a second to get this part done, and then we'll turn it around and do it on the other side. That's lovely. That's lovely. I'll turn it so you guys can see it, and I'll make sure it's focused, which it's not. But now it is. So there you go. So you get the white hot area in the middle. So the other question is, of course, you know, why not just paint it all yellow and then put the white on? Seems like it would be easier. But in this case, I want that. I really need that white underneath the yellow to make it glow. You know, the yellow really to pop. Obviously, if I painted the opaque yellow on black, it would take a long time to cover. And it would just be green. You know, it'd be green for a lot. So we are going to add a little bit more white to it, but that pretty much sets it all up for us. So one shop stopping, as it were. Turn this around, we'll do the other side. And I will refocus. Yeah. Who else is here? Ah, Brother Bob. Drake May holding up the Lombardi trophy. Bob, I would love that to happen. Tonight is Pittsburgh and Houston, so that's going to be interesting. It's going to be crazy. Yeah, it was not a. I mean, it was a great defensive game for the Patriots yesterday, but young Drake had a lot going on. So, did I miss that tip? No, I didn't. It looks like I missed it. There's a little divot right at the end of the blade. I thought it was, I missed painting it white, but I didn't. All right, so the only thing in the way here, or could get overspray, is the tail behind here. I don't care because I'm going to do the tail as fire anyway. So I just got to really keep in mind that base down below here. I never want to aim the airbrush like this while I'm painting the sword, because then the overspray will go down there. As long as I'm headed, you know, off the back of the figure, I won't really have any problem. I hit the center of that a little bit too hard and lost the white. So we'll reclaim that real quick because I still have white in the brush. Oh, it's being fussy. The sealer is immediately sets up, which is nice, but not great when you need it. Let's try this. There we go. So then now I can rinse and repeat with the yellow that I've reclaimed that white in the middle. There we go. Okay, good. So that's the yellow. Next is the orange. So for the orange, I use just straight up orange, which is opaque orange from Createx. There it is, Wicked Opaque Orange, Pyrrole Orange. Do the same thing here. But what's nice is with the orange, I don't have to put as much on. And this will give it that, you know, that cooling on the edge. So I'll clean out that brush and look at comments while I'm mixing paint. Michael McClung, what's up? Michael, I was watching your feed on Sunday, I think it was. But I didn't comment at all. So I didn't have a chance because I was multitasking. But the squirrel is awesome. I love bow hunting squirrels. That's the best. And I love the new studio space. That's awesome, Michael. I'm glad. It looks great. Makes me jealous. I like new studio spaces. GoBots, I love those. Yeah, Brian, that's true. Transformers absolutely does mean something different now. Michael Bay makes my head hurt. But, I mean, I like Michael Bay's stuff. It's just, it's nonstop. It's just nonstop. All right, orange. So with the orange, it's the same deal, but I want to really kind of keep it to the edges here. So again, to see how it's spraying, I'm going to start where there's the most orange, which is near the hilt. And just kind of like get that going and make sure. Because what I did notice last when I was doing this little piece right here in the background, you'll see it in a second. There it is. When I was doing this piece, I noticed I over-thinned the orange because I really wanted to spray with control. But then it never covered, you know. So, which is kind of what I did here. So we'll add a little bit more paint to my mix, and then that should thicken it up a little bit because the orange is super thick, and it just seems like it's not going to spray, but it really does. Steve, like to, yeah, Michael, that was the best part when you're going and there's a motorcycle and there's another motorcycle and then another motorcycle and another motorcycle, and then it turned into NASCAR cars. So no, I love that shelf. That's awesome. Yeah, that was great. Stompers, I love it. I still think they should make like an adult version of the big wheel. And I think they do. I think someone makes one, but not motorized. I've seen the motorized ones. I'm just talking about like a, you know, an adult-sized big wheel that, you know, direct drive, front wheel, crazy brake. I'm sure they do. All right, there we go. So my orange is a little bit more robust. Still want to take it slow. Still want to start at the top where the paint is the most orange, so that way I can test this out and make sure it's working. Still working really light layers. Yep, that seems good. So now once I get that, and that's starting to feel good, I can spread that out a little bit. Again, I don't have the mask on this, so I'm not worried about the horse really, you know, and I am getting overspray on him, but I'm going to use a brush to kind of clean that all up after. I'm not really worried about it. There's so much paint that's going to go on the armor bits, you know, like I'm going to pick a like metallic black and then have like silver, like worn away areas, you know, on it. So there's going to be a lot of paint on that. So I'm not worried about that. And the same thing with the hilt. All right, that feels good. That feels good. It's starting to feel hot. Is that focused? So hard to tell. All right, so now the hard part. I got to get this orange right on the edges without wiping out the middle of it. Oh, that sucks so much because I'm like, if I move my hand the wrong way, I'm going to blast this thing, and I definitely don't want that. It's more nerve-wracking than Tokyo painting. I love it. All right, now I got to get the other side. I don't know if I can reach it from here. Maybe I can. Yep, I can. Lovely. Good. It already looks hot. I love it. So let's do the other side, and then we'll get to the details. The details, as Mr. Mendez says. So let's move this here. I'll move this up a little bit so you guys get a full view of it. No. Hold that thought. I gotta have it like this so I can actually paint it. There we go. Now we'll focus. Yeah, I may have to turn it to get that bottom edge, but you guys will see the top edge go. 15 minutes, perfect. All right, awesome. And yay, I saw that Timothy John Luke Smith had a feed on Wednesday, which was great. I love that he's back. I know he took a little bit of a hiatus, but he did not take a hiatus from painting and working. He's in the middle of writing a book, so that's pretty exciting to hear about that. And then he had his feed on Wednesday, which was a lot of fun. I watched it after the fact. I didn't even know he was doing it, so I watched it after. But yeah, it was great to see him back. So. All right, so the trick with this is you don't want to put the orange everywhere the yellow is because you'll lose all the yellow. So that's the trick with this. You guys are focused? Yeah. And that's the hard part. You know, you want to kind of, once you get going, you want to, paint the whole thing up, and it's exciting, and you're having fun, and you're blasting the thing, and then all of a sudden you realize, everything's orange, and that's not what we're looking for. Now, the good news is, if that does happen, you just paint it white again and start over and keep doing it till it's right, So it's not terrible, but it's just waste of time. I'm going to turn this way so I can get at it, and then I know you can't see it, but I'm going to move you guys in a second so you can't see it. It already looks hot. I love it. And, I said it last week. I think this is where painters, artists have an advantage over people that just kind of started in painting these miniatures that weren't necessarily artists, because I've got this toolbox of stuff in my head. You know what I mean? Like I paint stuff to, two-dimensional panels to look like all kinds of different things right out of the gate. So for me, this is just the same thing. It's just I'm doing it on a three-dimensional surface. So it's fun. Now, the accomplished painters, figure painters, miniature painters, do the most amazing work. It's like they have their toolbox is incredibly filled. And they have a set of tools that, that I don't have, again, because they've been doing this for a long time, and they haven't reinvented the wheel, and they just keep building on what they've got, and all that fun stuff. So the best news is you'll learn from everyone. So, all right. So now I'm going to turn this a little bit so you guys can see it. I'll move the camera back. but I've got the whole thing painted in. So now we can start with those details. And the details are, let me, wait, Adam bought a Micron? Congratulations. I love the Micron. Rich Pen 222. That's awesome. I didn't even know Astral. When I saw they were making those again, I was blown away. That's a nice brush. That's basically my Micron B that I use all the time. I fell in love with the 213, so I have a bunch of those. So I never got the at the time it was the 212, which was the original version of the 222. But I never got one because I was using the 213 all the time. But I wish I had bought one. So now that they're out again, it's fun. All right, so let's do this. So I need palette camera on so you can see what I'm doing here. Give me a second for that. Here we go. It's kind of wonky, but here we go. It's kind of wonky, but there you go. Yeah, it's brand new today. So, all right. So the first step I did was regular orange, but I'm going to use red oxide because I realized I got to get that to kind of catch up real quick. The 222 is a MAC valve. There you go. Yeah, which Rich Pen didn't do until later. Here it is. I can't reach it. Actually, this is the. Wait a minute, Astral. Hold on, Astral. What's the small? Thank you. Oh, there we go, Scott. Thank you, Scott. I saw Japala had given me a 15-minute warning. This is one of the Mike Learn Mojo brushes. This is a 222, which is Astral. I thought the 222 had the small cup on it. So this is essentially a 222. The Mike takes all the guts out of the front of it and puts a smaller nozzle and needle in it, just like the 220, just like the smaller version of this. But I thought I saw someone had brought back online the small cup. But yeah, it has the new MAC valve on it. Do I have an old 213 floating around? And that brush right there, I should use that more. This brush is a beast too. Do I have a 213 around? No, they're all in my airbrush box. But yeah, the 213 is a beautiful brush too. I use that for years and years. All right, but anyway, let's get to it because we got 10 minutes to get some stuff on this. So first up is, there we go, is red oxide. So this red oxide is what, do I want to do the white first? No, do red oxide first. So the red oxide is the first layer of the cooled bits on the, I'll focus here. So the cooling bits on the steel, that's the first layer is red oxide. Oh my gosh, I'm having so much fun with this. It's not even funny. Like if I knew, if there was like a huge, like if all of a sudden it blew up and there was a huge market for this for me, like if everyone wanted me to paint these and then I could replace all the money that I was making from painting, there'd be an argument there. I love doing this. Like I might get, want to get right back to painting because I love painting images, but this is a lot of fun. And I can't say that about everything. Like I've done everything, motorcycles, everything. I'm about to paint a lock for young Mr. Patrick there. But this is fun. This is fun. So basically what happens is those little spots, those cooling spots are like the layers of steel that kind of get blown off. Like they cool really fast first, and then when you're hammering them, those little bits of slag kind of fall off. So they're random, but they're basically kind of around the edge, Now I have to do this to scale. So these dots are usually pretty small. Like if you really pulled this blade out of a forge, these dots would be really small. They wouldn't be like gigantic like I have on the other one. So I have to keep them on the smaller side, and I want to concentrate them sort of near the edge and keeping them random. You know, some a little bit larger, some smaller. And then where the tip of the blade is, we'll put a few more extras just to kind of like build it up. Same thing with the hilt too. So there we go. Nice. Now we'll do the other side of the blade, which you guys may not be able to. Oh, you know what I'll do? Can I do this? So you guys can see it? Yeah, let's do this. So you guys can see it. Try not to move my other hand. There we go. There we go, nice and crunchy in there. The other thing I did, which I didn't do on the other one, or I did do on the other one, but I haven't done on this one, is I kind of scumbled the yellow a little bit. You know, I kind of put a little bit of yellow pattern in there too. I did that with the airbrush, but since I missed that step and I don't want to load the paintbrush, the airbrush up, I'm just gonna, oh, you don't have the palette cam on. I just put a little bit of yellow out on the palette. This is the bismuth yellow. And I'm going to grab a tiny bit of red oxide. So that way it gives it a little bit of body, because this yellow won't show up without the orange on it, in it. But I want just like a really like, you know, I want really it to be yellow. And this I just added in to kind of break up the smoothness of the yellow. There we go. And again, I did that with the airbrush on my test panel, but I'm doing it with the paintbrush here just because it's easier. There we go. Nice. We'll rinse and repeat on the other side. Do we have time? We have 3 minutes. Can I get it done? Tater. All right, I have a problem. Well, I have lots of problems. You guys know that. I got to look back through the winners. There was a winner last that I still haven't got a well, there are 2 winners that I definitely haven't got paintings to. Poor Dan Wyborn from Canada. I've been driving around with this damn painting in my car for like months because the Canadian Post was shut down for a little while, and we decided, hey, we'll wait, you know, till they're open. And then they reopened, and I just dropped the ball totally and never sent it. And then I took it out of my car and I didn't know where it was. And then I refound it, and I'm like, holy crap. So, Dan, you are the most patient person on the planet, and I appreciate that, and I'm going to get your painting out now that I've relocated it. And there's another one, too. So, you know, there are a couple of winners that they got to get shipped. But everyone else got theirs, so I'm happy with that. Because I hate that. I hate when they, you know, get lost in the shuffle like that. Doesn't happen often, but there we go. Okay, good. This doesn't show up on here. Oh, that's because, no, that's fine. I was gonna say it didn't really show up. Nice. Now, same deal here. I'm gonna grab this little yellow and add a little bit of extra yellow kind of crumbles in there. So I still want the white to show up, but this just breaks it up a little bit. That's lovely. Now the last step before we do the, you know what? Let's just finish the blade, then we'll do the giveaway, because I'm pretty much right there. All right, so the next step is the same thing with the white. And for this I'm using what? I was going to use a sealer white, but that looks nasty, meaning it's very thin because I didn't shake it enough. So we'll take that off of there because that's bad. So use opaque white. So this we're going to add just the hottest hot spots in the center of that blade. And this just kind of reclaims that really hottest part. Now I don't want to go crazy again. I just want to indicate those really hot spots in the main part of the blade like that. And I'll do the same thing on the other side, but I'll focus it for you guys. Yeah, what we'll do is after the feed, we'll finish up the hilt and everything and get that going. Now this side is more white, so it holds up better, but it's already there, but yeah. All right, that's that. So the very last step for this is to pick some of those little crumbly areas and darken them up. So to do that, I used a little bit of pyro red and black. And I also used the same red oxide. So we'll grab some red oxide, add a little bit of red to it, and then a tiny bit of black. And that gives me this really nice warm brown. So with this, I just pick some of the bigger spots and I just add a little bit of extra darkness to it, and that makes those spots feel like they're even cooler than the other ones. So again, like everything, you know, too much is too much. If you put this everywhere, then it just obliterates the other orange dots. So I don't want to do this everywhere, just here and there, you know, breaking up those orange spots. The more complex it is, the more real it's going to look. Do the other side of this guy, refocus for you. And then when we come back, we'll do the hilt and maybe we'll work out some of that black chromium stuff I was talking about. I haven't even thought about it yet, so I didn't think I'd get this far. Shocker. We actually got stuff done. There we go. Nice. There you go. So that is our molten sword right there. Well, not molten. It's our forged sword, as it were. Now, I definitely wanted it with a lot of that white because I wanted it to be hotter than the lava down the bottom. But yeah, that's what we got so far. Hooray! There he is. There he is. All right, so good. So let's give away a painting, and then we'll come back to this, and we'll do the hilt and the handle and all that fun stuff. Thanks, Tater. All right, let's switch to this so you guys don't get sick when I move this camera. And that way you guys get the far away view too, which is kind of fun because it really, like, it stands out from far away. There it is. So there's the lava. Again, you know, it's going to be bits and pieces. His tail is going to be flamed, but it's going to be a lot more orangey red. So it's not going to be crazy, you know, like hot like the lava or the sword. And then there'll be some hot spots on his eyes too. So I think it's going to work out well. And then, like I said, I think for the cloth bits on him, there'll be like a dark maroon, just to kind of keep that, you know, heat, but not, you know, take away from the heat of the lava. And then, like I said, you know, right off the bat, like you could see that the black on the horse. I think that's going to look really good as the armor. Not that, but, you know, that really dark armor. All right, let's give away a painting. Let's do it, because that's fun. I know, look at you guys. Everyone, good luck to everyone. We only had, what, 2 winners so far? So that's nice. Those people have to wait for the rest of the year. And actually, I haven't talked to Bobby. Bobby won, and I haven't caught up with him, so I got to let him know he won. Unfortunately, Chris, that would have been awesome, but there's like the armor is on the mane of the horse, so it covers that. So I can't do that. But yeah, I think that the tail will be like fire, but like a cool fire, like black, like red, that kind of thing. I swear that overspray on the back of the easel looks like a scene from Harry Potter. That's awesome. There you go. I still have a bunch of these blotters too. I was considering, like, when people buy 543s to cut up one and mat it and send it to them with 543s when they buy them, you know, so they can get a piece of the background. All right, real quick, here we go. Good luck, everyone. First up, we'll do them in reverse order since I got them in that order. The lovely Patty, the redhead artist, asked for a wolf moon, so that's my wolf moon. This is also the time lapse for this week. So if you are a member, you can watch it right now. If you're not a member here, that's okay. You can watch it tomorrow. It'll be on YouTube tomorrow at 10 a.m. And it's nice. It's a quick one, but it's a good one. So that one's just called Wolf Moon. There you go. Oh, la 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 la. What do we got? Where is it? Where's my other sheet? Okay. Yeah. Ron Basil asked for a tiger shark, so I got my tiger shark doing its thing, swimming around there. I love painting sharks, so that's my tiger shark. Looking for a meal. And that one's just called Tiger. It's called Tiger 2. I mentioned that earlier. I already had a tiger shark painting. And finally, the last one. This one is, where is it? Where is it? Where is it? Soiled it. Yeah, Scott King asked for the Edmund Fitzgerald. The legend lives on from the Chippewa down. So that's my Edmund Fitzgerald, and that's just called We Are Holding Our Own. I'm going to change the tag because that's what the captain said. His last radio transmission to his first mate was we are holding our own. So, tragedy on Lake Kichigumi. All right. So, let me show you the list. That would help. 33 people. Crazy people. Where is my list? It's okay. That's fine. Here we go. Here's a list. I'm going to give you the close-up real quick, so it's in there for the record. Starting here. And there it is. So I'm going to scroll through all these. We get everyone on there. All these fine people could win. There we go. All 33. All right. Jump to this screen and this one. And that one, there's your 33. So your lucky winner tonight is, get out of here, number 1, Mike Stevenson. Mike, where is it? There we go. Congratulations, Michael Stevenson, 9031. You are the winner. So you know what to do, Mike. Congratulations, Mike. Yay. All right. So Mike won. So he's off the list for the rest of the year. He can't win anymore. So there we go. All right. Michael, if you would like any of these, just let me know. If you want something different, you know where I am. And we'll get that flying. Congratulations, bud. I'm working on a couple of cool projects for Mr. Stevenson, too. Mike actually grabbed the turkey painting, and I'm going to make a special frame for him for that, which is a lot of fun. And I also have another project that I'm trying to wrap my head around for him. It's a technical challenge, not a painting challenge. It's a materials challenge. So that's fun. So I'll keep you up to date on that as that comes together. All right. Let's finish this sword up, and then we'll call it a day. That's great. I actually thought I'd only get one side of that done, but we got the whole thing done. So let's finish it up. Yeah, if you guys want to sing "Wreck of the Edmund Fitzgerald," please feel free. Take 4 hours to sing the whole song. I actually like that song. Kyle, you were so close. Yeah, Kyle. I mean, yeah, you could go the whole year again, but everyone gets one, right? Dawn, what's up? Welcome, Dawn. Dawn, if you're a regular and YouTube just changed your name, let me know. But welcome, Dawn. Dawn, if you would like to win one and you are new here, welcome. And all you got to do is type 543 and then give me a suggestion for one of those paintings. Like, give me your idea what would make a good little black and white painting. And then check back next week and you'll be on the list. There's Bobby. Bobby, you won last week. Bug, what the heck? Thank you, Bug. You're amazing. Bobby Silva, I believe you won last week. So you got to pick a painting. So let me know. You guys are awesome. A lit cigar resting in an ashtray. Adam, here's the beauty of me doing 5 years of these things. I already have that painting done. It's on the website. So if you want that painting, it's already on the website. So that was a great suggestion. That was a while ago, and I just ran across it too. I think Tone suggested that one. Yeah, I had a really good time doing that one. That was fun. He was real specific, I think, about this, about the cigar too, which was fun. All right, let's move this back. Well, what are we gonna do with this hilt? Well, first I gotta get it black. Let me get you back. Let me get you back on this thing so you guys can see what I'm looking at. Look at how close the camera is. So that's the end of the macro lens. That's the sword there. And I'm about to focus it here so you guys can see it. Oh, jeebus. This is hella close. But we need to be, right? Yeah, autofocus would be like going nuts right now. It would be like having none of this. Hold on. Can I get that close? No, that's a little too close. All right, check that. That's what I'm talking about right there. You guys are going to be happy with this. Oops. You guys are going to get the detail on the sword too. As soon as I get this to stop futzing around. Oh, jeebus. All right, this is Open Studio close. Here we go. So there you go. Now you can see all the detail on the blade too. Move this a little bit more this way so you guys can see it. All right, so the first order of business is to reclaim the hilt and that little triangular design there. But now you can see all the paintbrush work on there. And there's my finger to give you an idea how close you guys are and how small that is. So the first thing to do is I'm gonna, like I said, I'm thinking I'm gonna use like a metallic black, which I didn't think I'd get here yet. So I don't have anything pulled out of the mystery box of paint, but we're gonna black this out anyway. So to do this, I think I'm gonna use, no, I was gonna use sealer black, but I think at this point I'm gonna use just regular black. I think it'll work. I'll turn the palette cam, oops, sorry about that. Turn the palette cam back on. Johnny Walker Blue. See, Adam, I'm going to need reference photos for that. So I'm going to have to go buy a bottle of blue. I haven't had blue in a long time. The interesting thing about Johnny Walker is that while it is a Scotch, everyone thinks it's a single malt Scotch, but it is actually a blend, which is interesting. And that's, when you hear single malt Scotch, what they mean is that's it. It's made with just, it's made as it is, where a blend will be a blend of different single malt scotches all put together. So the nice thing about Johnny Walker Blue is that the scotches, the single malts that they use are off the hook, which is why Johnny Walker Blue is so expensive and good and wonderful and all that. So, yeah, I haven't had blue in a long time. How does that look? Is that too... You need more light on that is what you need. You guys can yell at me if you want. Oops. There you go. Now you can see it. Yeah, it doesn't matter if it's too glossy because I'm going to hit it with whatever metallic paint I'm going to use. Now, the big question is do I do this triangle black? Yeah, I do. I was going to say I didn't want to do the triangle, or I did want to do the triangle black, but then I had second thoughts. But now... seeing it, I want to have that definition in the blade. What I want it to look like is that it wasn't just pulled out of the forge. I want it to look like it's always like that. You know what I mean? Where if the hilt had like orange on it and that kind of thing, it would look like, maybe it was just pulled out of a forge. And I don't want that. I want it to look like it's supposed to be like that. Actually, I should be using sealer black because I got to do this on the horse too. Yeah, that's much better. Bushmills, yeah. See, whiskey is a different, all right, so same family, whiskey and Scotch. The only, the big difference is how it's made and where it's made. Scotch is only in Scotland. However, Brother Bob is here, and there is a spot in Canada that has almost identical growing conditions or peat conditions. as Scotland. So they are the only area that really makes a decent Scotch other than Scotland. But I love Irish whiskey too. Different animal though. All right, yeah, we're going to jump to Sealer Black. And the reason why is because Sealer Black has a different look when it dries. It's more matte colored. And I got to do a little bit of work. You can't see it because it's on the other side of the armor here. But there's some overspray that got out on there. So I gotta take care of that. And the only way to do that is to match it to the paint that's already on there. So again, you can't see it really because I'm kind of working around the corner here. But yeah, that's what I'm doing. Getting rid of that overspray. And again, I'm going to be putting like a black metallic on that and doing a lot of like wear and tear on it as well. So that overspray would probably disappear anyway as I do all that other work, but I'm not going to take a chance. I'd rather have, start at zero, as it were. Good. All right, now I'm going to send you guys on a ride, or not going to do that. I'll turn this around this way so you don't have to go on the ride. Oh, that actually worked out. Worked out better than I thought. That was actually a lot easier. All right. JC, have a good night, buddy. You guys are awesome. The bottle that reaches over 500,000 a bottle. What is that? What did I miss? Oh, the reach? That's crazy. See, all right, so Johnny Walker Black and Blue and Red, all that's good. A lot of single malts, even like Highland Park 18. I have no problem with stuff like that. Anything more than that, though, I don't think I could really appreciate it. You know what I mean? Like if you have a bottle that's super rare. And the other nice thing about Scotch is age makes a difference, but only up to a certain point. Once you pull it out of the cask, it doesn't age anymore. So it's not like wine that gets better with age. Like a bottle of Highland Park 18 or Lagavulin 10 or, Lafrague 10, really. There's no Lagavulin 10. A 10-year-old Scotch is just going to be a 10-year-old Scotch. That's it. Once it's bottled, that's it. It stays the way it is. And that's nice because there's consistency there. If you have a bottle of Lagavulin, it's going to be the same as most other bottles of Lagavulin that you'll have. So there's a consistency there. But the thing is like if you had a super rare bottle that was like that, like $500,000 for a bottle, I wouldn't be able to appreciate that. There are people with palates that are set up for that. So I don't know. Even if I could swing that, I probably wouldn't. I would just stick with the good stuff, so to speak, and then just be happy with that. So Highland Park is my go-to. I love a good Isla, and that's that real peaty, nasty, Band-Aid smelling iodine Scotch. I love those in the wintertime. But the Highland Scotches for me are the go-to. They're the easiest to drink, and they're just great. Anyway, how do we get on this? So there we go. Yeah, I think what I'm going to do is, since I'm not prepared, as Illidan says, for the next step, what I think I'm going to do is I'm going to leave it there. I'm going to back you guys out a little bit so you can kind of get a closer view. Not that far. I'm going to give you a closer view of the whole thing. I'm just going to back the close-up camera out a little bit so you can see it, so you get a feel for it. But I got to do a little bit of homework. Just like I did with the test panel, I'm going to do that for the armor as well. So I'm just going to grab a piece of styrene and paint it black and then mess around with it and see what looks really good. Gives me that metallic, worn type of thing. Bob, have a good night. You're awesome, dude. Let me turn this down a little bit because the exposure is way too high. There we go. All right, so let's turn this around. So this is what it's looking like so far. So he's got that molten sword ready to go. Yeah, I like the hilt like that. It looks like that's intentional. See, with that little triangle right there, it doesn't look like he just pulled it out of a forge, It looks like, all right, something's up with that, And that's kind of the feel I wanted for that. Yeah, I may just leave the hilt just black. Maybe I'll use a little bit of matte clear on it So it like isn't as shiny, but that works for me. And it looks like it's glowing. So I like that. Looks like it's hot. Yeah, so that's the deal. That's where I'm at with this. I will definitely keep you guys in the loop on this. Maybe I'll do another, just a video that I can post so you guys can watch it later instead of another live feed, because we've done this for 2 weeks in a row, which is fun. I'm having a blast with it. But, you know, you can let me know too in the comments if you want more of this kind of stuff, or if, you know, you want me to keep mixing it up. That's usually the rule of law for Monday night. You know, I try not to spend more than, you know, a couple of weeks at a time on any one thing. But, yeah, this guy's looking good. So there we go. Now I'm going to switch cameras and do that so I can say I love you guys. You guys are the best. We got all this stuff in the way because I can't see without all the lights. We'll move those out of the way, and that's what I got. The schedule is the same for this week. I got everything done. So tomorrow is the time lapse from Patty's Wolf Moon. I don't know. I didn't see if Robert didn't pick a painting either yet from last week because he didn't know, I don't think. But I don't think Mike picked a painting, but he's cool. You know, we have a back and forth that's really cool. So we'll catch up with him. So I think all 3 of those are going to go up on the site after the feed. So if you would like one of those, the paintings I do for the live streams, they're always 50% off. So they go right up on the website and they stay at 50% off no matter what. So you can go grab any one of those 3 if you'd like. Or any of the other ones. That really helps keep things going. I say it all the time, the 543s that I paint, the money from those allow me to do Monday nights and the time lapse and, you know, the open studio. So that really pays for that, which is nice. And which brings me to open studio. So the Tokyo painting is coming out great. Here is how that one is looking. That's small, mental, crazy painting of Tokyo. So that's coming out great. The video for that is on Wednesday. It's not live. It's a premiere though, so you can hang out with us and we all shoot the shit and have a good time. And then all those videos are in that playlist, so you can watch. We're on episode 81 right now, which is insane. There's 40 hours of that painting, which is great. All right, so that's what I got. So thank you all. You guys are amazing. I had a blast. I hope you enjoyed it. If you have any other comments or if I missed something, please send me a message and I will definitely get back to you. And that's what I got. So for Steve Leahy and Monday Night Live, you guys are the best. And I will catch you guys later. Have a good one.